good morning, folks. Today is Thursday, July 7th. This is episode 148. Welcome to Simply Cyber's daily cyber threat briefing. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next 30 minutes, I'll be delivering the top cybersecurity news stories of the day and providing my expert analysis on each of those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner, so how you can operationalize it in your life, or if you're looking to break in the industry, which I know many are, and rightfully so. It's an awesome industry to work in. Knowing what's going on currently and timely and being able to speak to it with a little bit of context will be a huge key differentiator in any interview that you have. I guarantee you they'll ask you, what do you do to stay current in the industry? Shout out and thanks to this stream's sponsor, the one and only Barricade Cyber Solutions. Cyber criminals have stolen your company's data, not good, and derailed your business operations, probably because they ransomwared your stuff. Barricade Cyber Solutions will help you resolve this ransomware attack and get your business back on track. If you don't have a break glass in case of emergency solution, or you haven't thought through what are you going to do if all of your systems go down like today, consider calling Barricade Cyber Solutions just for an exploratory call of like, hey, what would this look like? What's it going to cost, right? Get some numbers, get some ideas, talk to your executives about it, and then have that just in your back pocket. Just a thought. You do you, but if everything goes belly up and you're like, I don't know what to do now, that's not going to be a good look for anyone. I want to remind you, if you hold professional certifications that require CPEs or CEUs, each episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing is currently worth half a CPE. So that stacks to 2.5 a week, 10 a month. Be sure to document literally the easiest and I would argue the most enjoyable way to earn CPs. Just say good morning in chat with your name. It's basically burned into the video. So you'll have forensics auditable evidence for whatever auditor ever calls you on your CPs. I also want to point out, I've been thinking about this. If you've been a long time member of the Simply Cyber community, the daily threat briefing has always been 30 minutes, but over the last, 2 weeks or so, like it's going longer and longer and longer. It's almost an hour. And I've asked the community if that bothers you, and you guys seem, you're fully on board with a longer stream. So if we do go to an hour, the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing will be worth a full CPE or 5 a week, or 25 a month. So I'm just saying, there is some benefit here if we take it to the next level. If you are live, love it. I see 67 of you just on the Simply Cyber channel right now. That doesn't include LinkedIn and all the affiliates broadcasting out. Absolutely love it. If you are watching on replay, hashtag team replay, thanks for catching the stream. My replay people, stay tuned because I've got a special surprise for you coming up later in the show. I'm super pumped. I thought about this last night and came up with a cool solution for you to participate in the raffles as well. But as always, if you're watching on replay and you don't want to hear me bandy on about, this stuff, and you just want to get into the news, give me the facts, Jerry, then when this screen turns into news, that's what we're doing. But for the next, let's say 45 seconds, I'm going to be welcoming everybody into chat, waving to the dogs, maybe fixing my lighting. I sure as crap will be taking a pull off this coffee and saying good morning to you. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Got my MFA shirt on. I live it, I wear it. Enable that MFA, people. So good morning. Hey, what's up, Alexis? Hey, Asha, good to see you. Kimberly in chat. Tony MBA, saw you yesterday, so we got a streak going, my friend. Hey, LinkedIn users, if you're on LinkedIn, that's awesome. Totally welcome to enjoy it from the LinkedIn perspective. But I do want to remind you, if you come over to the Simply Cyber YouTube channel, which can be found if you go to simplycyber.io/streams, like see that URL right above my head. If you go there, it'll take you to the YouTube channel and you get a richer experience. You can use emotes, participate in polls, see all of the chat, etc. It's a good time. Hey, John Henry Gilly, Michael Husking, Carrie, always nice to have you. Haircut Fish, love that. Joe Torres cracking me up, always in chat, loving it. Hopefully everybody's well. We're on the backside of this week, which is pretty dope. Yep. Just hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let me just change my camera angle. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yep, no problem. No problem. My oldest son left his iPad charging right there, and he had to grab that, so no big deal. All right, hey Pamela, everything's well. Pamela, we haven't caught up in a minute, so I hope everything's going well with work and cars and kids and everything. Hey Jess Bishop, congratulations on the job. Obviously, K. Scott Powell, Aaron KG, right here in chat. Do you guys know that I will be interviewing Aaron KG? I know it seems like a niche episode, but I will be interviewing Aaron KG, who is making the transition from truck driver to cybersecurity professional. And I want to make that piece of content. So if you know someone or you are a truck driver and you're trying to figure out how to do this, we're going to help you out with that. Okay, so that's enough pleasantries. If you want to play along, go to cisoseries.com. Stay tuned because we will be raffling off two. Cyber Mentor Academy practical ethical hacking courses later on in the show. They are fantastic, believe me. So stick with us. If you were on the fence, you're like, I don't know if I have time for this crap. Stick with us because there's something we're raffling off. Okay, cool. So let's get into the news, right?
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
It's Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Attackers moving off Cobalt Strike. Cracked versions of the Cobalt Strike attack toolkit have become a staple of threat actors' arsenal over the years, letting attackers quickly spread laterally across a breached network. However, Palo Alto Networks researchers found that the Brute Ratel toolkit is quickly becoming a popular replacement. Like Cobalt Strike, this was developed as a red team pen testing tool by a former researcher at Mandiant and CrowdStrike, letting a user deploy so-called Badger beacons to remote hosts that connect back to a C2 server for commands. Brute Ratel was specifically designed to evade detection by EDR and antivirus services, making it particularly hard to deal with. Researchers found the new tool particularly popular with the Russian-backed group APT29, aka Cozy Bear, and has also seen growing use by ransomware groups.
Okay. So this is pretty interesting, guys. Cobalt Strike, if you don't know it, it is supposed to be designed for red teams that are doing good work, trying to, make their work methodology, their workflows easier to do. But obviously, bad guys can use the same tools. A gun is good for defense. It's also good for robbing people. Cobalt Strike's no different. Now, as the industry has gotten hip to the game that Cobalt Strike is the weapon du jour. By the way, Conti Ransomware Group, like, actually had a licensed version of Cobalt Strike. That's how professional and on board they were. But as industry is catching on to this, it sounds like threat actors are just pivoting. No big deal. Like, this is a macro level thing. Threat actors operate very much like a cat and mouse game, right? So if our defenses, we're the mice, or we're the cats, they're the mice. If we are getting good at detecting Cobalt Strike and preventing Cobalt Strike from even being installed or even executing, or we see it and it blocks beacons or whatever, threat actors are very agile. They're not going to just bang their head against the wall and be like, I'm doing Cobalt Strike. That's more of a script kiddie thing. More sophisticated actors will just pivot and find those nooks and crannies to get in and continue to execute on objective. That's all it is. So moving to this Brute Ratel, I have not heard of Brute Ratel. So I don't know if anyone in the red team space on chat is familiar with Brute Ratel, but it's new to me. It was developed by Red Team, Remandia, and CrowdStrike, both excellent firms that study attacker behavior. It is an attack adversarial emulation tool, so it's very similar to Cobalt Strike. It's designed to be used in environments so blue teamers could almost do like a purple team exercise and see like what compromises look like, and then tune their tools accordingly to detect and prevent that. So what I would say, the kind of the actionable thing here is, as a cybersecurity professional, you should be aware of this, right? Put Brute Ratel on your radar. Second thing is that they mentioned Unit 42 right here, Palo Alto Unit 42. That is an awesome kind of like threat research group, like if you've heard of the tag group, like which is the threat analysis group at Google, the tag, uh, Palo Alto Unit 42 is kind of similar. It's almost like Cisco Talos too. Like Palo Alto is a top tier security vendor, right? And they put a lot of money into research and security research and stuff like that. So PA 42, if you see something coming out of there, chances it's really good. So you might even want to go check out Palo Alto Unit 42 because they do push a lot of other stuff online that's pretty cool. So just be mindful of that. It sounds like APT 28 or 29 is taking it, which is basically Russia. So sophisticated threat actors. And one final thing, guys, I'm just dropping like dropping like tangential bombs over here. So in addition to that, another thing that we see in industry is that as the big players, right, the kings of the hill, as far as threat actors go, adopt techniques, it trickles downhill. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more people beginning to use brute retel as cracked versions show up on dark web sites and wares to take everybody back to the 90s, right? W-A-R-E-Z, wares. Kids, gather around. That's what old people like me used to call stolen software. Okay, let's keep going.
Cyber attacks against law enforcement on the rise. A
Uh-oh.
new report from the security firm Resecurity found that attacks against law enforcement agencies saw a notable rise in Q2. These attacks typically see actors sending fake subpoenas or emergency data requests, or EDRs, using a hacked email account belonging to a law enforcement agency. This typically yields sensitive details that can be either used for extortion or further cyber espionage. This appears to be an international phenomenon, impacting law enforcement in the US, Peru, and Bangladesh recently.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the sound of the police.
Okay, I'm going to use every opportunity I get to use that sounder. Listen, cyber attacks against law enforcement. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Really? Is that what we're doing here? Attacking police, law enforcement? Like, oh my God. Like when I think of like terrible ideas, this one is right up there. This is horrible idea. It's like running up and kicking a beehive. Are you nuts, dude? Like I get it. I get it, right? Like but it's not even like they're not even talking about in order to get information on current pending cases or in order to taint evidence so a case will be thrown out. It's literally for espionage and for like extortion. Come on, man. Like it's the internet. You can attack a law firm. You can attack an ice cream shop. You can attack a manufacturer. You can attack XYZ over here, and you're going to go for law enforcement, the people who are tasked with kicking your butt. It's like literally painting a target on your face and being like to me, this oozes young person, right? And with all due respect, I'm not an ageist. I'm not saying anything, but typically, I feel like if you really thought about this and you weren't acting irrationally or emotionally or for the lulls, you wouldn't do this. This is not a good idea in any capacity. I don't know who's doing that. I love it when they catch them to have a news report on that because yeah, wow.
Apple announces lockdown mode. The company plans to introduce this new security feature in the autumn. When activated, it blocks attachments and link previews in messages, certain attackable web browsing features, and incoming FaceTime calls from unknown numbers. It also requires the device to be unlocked to accept accessory connections like headphones and blocks installation of remote management software. The mode is only meant for users who feel they may be the target of a sophisticated attack like the Pegasus spyware from NSO Group, which can affect phones with little or no action required by the target. A developer version is being tested now, and Apple plans to expand lockdown mode over time.
Okay, so I actually think this is pretty awesome. Okay, so Apple has been um champion that they are not only a hardware manufacturer but also they are like the advocate for privacy, right? So if you want privacy, Apple is your friend. Um and this lockdown mode honestly actually kind of has actions that align with this. I thought about like, oh, should I put this on my phone just so I could talk about how it works and everything? It's not out yet. It's coming out this fall. But as they said, this is really geared for high level VIP sensitive people. So think like geopolitical world leaders, president of the United States, senators, congressmen, um, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, right? Yes, like Jerry from Simply Cyber could put his phone in lockdown mode. But when you really think about it, okay, hold on. This is a macro level thing. And this is great for the GRC people, okay? Think about this for a second. This thing makes it so you have to have like things unlocked to use the headphone, the screen unlocked to use the headphone. Well, if you're going for a run and you're listening to your headphones on your device, you'd have to leave your screen open the whole time, which may not even be possible because it goes, dormant and then shuts. So then every 2 minutes you're gonna have to stop your run and turn and open the screen back up. Okay, one, two. You're having a good text chat with the family chat. Cousins are throwing in all sorts of animated GIFs, and each one you have to go in and click on and open and then see it, right? So, like, what I'm getting at is inconvenience, right? When we talk about security in any capacity, any security control, think of it as a straight line, right? And on one end, you have usability, and on the other end, you have security, right? I wasn't ready to do this demo, so I'm like dabbing myself right now. But the more secure you get something, the less usable it is. Do you understand? It's literally you can't have very secure and very usable, right? It's a linear line, and you move the little dial like a child's toy wherever you want it to be. Wicket secure, it's turned off, not plugged in a metal box in the ocean, right? Yeah, no one's ever going to hack it. Wicket usable, S3 buckets open to the internet. Everybody, right? So somewhere in between is what we're talking about. With this lockdown mode, you're getting way more over here, and it's going to introduce friction to end user experience and usability. So, having said that, this is really geared for them, for those VIPs. But I do really, really appreciate that Apple's making this available in response to um Pegasus basically, right? Like there are a couple groups over in Europe that have straight zero click full compromise malicious super weapons and Microsoft and Apple is trying to do something about it. Also, I just want to point out, since I love this guy's content, Patrick Wardle, and mods, if you could just drop his name or drop his link or something in chat. Patrick Wardle is like the de facto Apple expert in our industry. The guy, former NSA, lives in Hawaii, big surfer dude, super cool. Anyone, you can walk right up to him and it's like you've been friends for years talking to him. He gives the best, right? I'm going to put it up there as my top two favorite speakers ever. He talks at Black Hat and DEF CON every single year. He gives the best presentations, and he wrote the book on Mac malware. If you're interested in Apple security, Patrick Wardle is the first place you should go and the last place you should go because the dude is amazing. Okay, that's all I'll say about that, but way to go, Apple.
Marriott confirms data breach. The hotel chain confirmed that unknown threat actors breached the BWI Airport Marriott location and stole 20 gigabytes of data. The actor only had access to its network for roughly 6 hours and did not gain access to Marriott's core network. Marriott described the breach as a social engineering attack that tricked an associate into giving access to a hotel computer. Stolen data included internal business files and some credit card information, impacting about 300 to 400 people. The company said the attackers tried to extort it to not leak the data, but that it did not make any payment.
Okay, so this is kind of like a basic throwaway story, but it is interesting. So the Marriott Hotel at Baltimore International Airport, their network got hacked. It says social engineering. So basically, I would think that this is a straight up, hey, I'm a busy traveler, my computer's broke, I've got to check an email, I've got my connecting flight, whatever. Marriott person, your job is to be hospitable to me. Make yourself hospitable and get out of my way so I can use your computer. I'm just sunblock on the nose, jelly shoe with socks wearing tourist. Let me use your computer. And then, straight up, the person's got access to the computer. It could be as simple as like thumb drive to download files, email themselves. Could have been a rubber ducky. Who knows? But this is why it's kind of a throwaway story, because basically someone just went up and said, "Hey, can I use your computer?" And the associate said, "Sure." Now it doesn't say what 20 gigabytes of data they stole. Um, Again, I hate to be so flippant because anybody's personal information getting compromised sucks, but 20 gigs, I hate to sound desensitized, but 20 gigs isn't that much anymore in the pantheon of breaches. Whatever. Way to go, Marriott, getting in front of it. I'm sure they're going to send an email out saying that, they take privacy and security seriously, and that, here's a year of identity theft protection. Whatever. Marriott's a huge company. It's no surprise. They've had multiple breaches in the past, and I'm sure they will continue to have breaches. Be mindful. I guess the takeaway here: educate all end users on, especially customer facing end users in hospitality, right? Hotel, travel, and HTR, hotel, travel, and restaurant, right? Like that band of industry. Be mindful, educate your end users. Be helpful, but don't like be a sucker. All right, let's let CISO series do their promo.
And now, thanks to today's episode sponsor, Votiro. Can you trust that your content and data is free of malware and ransomware? With Votiro, you can. Votiro removes evasive and unknown malware from content in milliseconds without impacting file fidelity or usability. It even works on password-protected and zipped files. Plus, it's an API, so it integrates with everything, including Microsoft 365. Learn more at Votiro.com. New details.
Okay, so that is CISO serious thing, but let me take a few minutes and talk about a couple things. One, I want to just let everyone know that we are raffling off um, 2 vouchers for TCM Academy's Practical Ethical Hacking course. I have personally taken this course. Many people in chat have taken this course. I've bought it multiple times. You might ask why. I could explain it later, but I've bought it multiple times. This is an awesome course. I don't care if you have no experience, you're a 20-year SOC analyst. This course is cool. I mean, obviously, if you're a 20-year SOC analyst, there's going to be some refresh material, easy stuff, right around like network subnetting and stuff like that. But this course is comprehensive and it's pretty dope. So let's thank Zach Hill and Heath Adams for donating the vouchers all week this week. Officially, the reason we're doing the raffles is because Simply Cyber is now an official affiliate. So we are openly affiliated with TCM Academy, and very proud of that too. I love the work that they're doing. They actually helped inspire kind of the pricing structure and the way that I approached the GRC Analyst Master Class, which is awesome. So if you want to enter, go ahead and drop. Hold on, you couldn't have done it yet. Go ahead and enter TCM now. So a minute, like I just added the TCM because I didn't do it already. So if you have typed in TCM before I started talking, this part, enter it again. Okay. So enter it again and we will do that. While that is queuing up, I just want to remind everybody, I saw a couple people take care of this. Simply Cyber, there's a merch store. So if you do ! merch, I just want to remind everybody that because I'm launching it or whatever, and because the platform that I use is doing 15% off now through Sunday, everything in the store is 15% off. It just takes it off at checkout. There is the Simply Cyber gear, the hashtag Team Replay gear, and the I Heart NIST gear. Jack Scott with that idea. So thanks, Jax. Wonderful idea. I do Heart NIST myself quite a bit. So I definitely want to shout out her and let her know that was a cool, fun idea. TCM stacking up. Another thing. This is what the store looks like, so don't worry about that. Okay, so before we while you guys are all queuing up here, let me just tell you, if you are hashtag Team Replay, I am going to be explaining to everybody how we're going to be doing the raffle for tomorrow. So we're doing 2 a day. Kimberly McKnight won on Tuesday and she threw it back into the pool. Chinadu won Kimberly McKnight's raffle yesterday. Chinadu threw it back in the pool. So tomorrow Tomorrow, I will be raffling off 3 vouchers for TCM Academy, but we won't be using this mechanism. No, no, the actual raffle, and I'll do this again later. The actual raffle has already started. You have to join the Discord server. So if you do exclamation point Discord, see if I can do this. If you do exclamation point Discord, maybe I can go full screen on this. If you go exclamation point Discord and get to the Discord server, there is a giveaway channel. Okay. And in that channel, I have already started a raffle for 3 of the TCM Academy practical hacking, ethical hacking courses. And it's going to end tomorrow at 8:23. So in the middle of our stream, we will pick 3 winners, right? All you have to do to enter is click on this little celebration emote, right? You click on that emote, it increments 1. So if you clicked on it right now, it would go to 2. This is how you enter into the raffle. Okay. So for all of the team replay people, this is how you can play with the team live people. All right. I wanted to make this equitable for replay and give you all a chance to win, because it's not because you don't come to the live. You don't choose to not come to the live because you don't want to come to the live. Many of you have conflicts. Many of you are in different time zones. So this is the best way that I could think of enabling team replay to participate in some of the fun and some of the action. So go, rewind it if you have to, but go to the Discord channel, go to the giveaway channel, Discord server giveaway channel, and hit that little celebration emote, and you will enter to win. And I won't even pick them. Just tomorrow, during the little break, I'll hop over to the Discord server and we'll look all together at who our 3 winners were. All right. So good luck to everybody.
Details on the Axie Infinity hack. We've covered some of the details of the hack of the Ronin bridge used by the game Axie Infinity that stole $540 million worth of cryptocurrency assets. In terms of who is behind the attack, the US government has tied the incident to North Korea's Lazarus Group. However, the block sources say the vector of the attack was a fake job ad. A senior engineer at Axie Infinity clicked to apply for a fictitious job and downloaded a malicious PDF offering employment details. This installed spyware, which ultimately allowed the attackers to take over a significant number of validators on the Ronin network. The attackers went so far as to put this engineer through several rounds of interviews before sending the faked job offer. This was combined with gaining access to a signature from the Axie DAO validator to give the attackers access to the bridge.
Wow. Now this is okay, so listen. this is this is the difference between sophisticated threat actors and just cyber criminals, okay? Case in point. One, the way that Lazarus Group, aka like probably the greatest financial theft cyber criminal group on the planet that I know of, the way that they operate, they used a fake job offer. Now, there's something really interesting about this. They targeted a senior engineer at this Axie Infinity, hundreds of millions of dollars, Ethereum bridge game thing. So 2 things. Like, listen, I get it. We're all mercenaries looking for money, right? And you can have commitment to your organization, but it's not your family, right? Like if somebody comes around the corner with twice your salary, I don't care if you were, employee of the month and got recognized at a banquet for being awesome. If someone's offering you double salary, it's like, yeah, straight cash, homie. Oh, speaking of that, Kimberly McKnight, I got you. Straight cash, homie. Right. So we're following the money. That's why we work. We don't work because it's like a good time. We work because we get paid, and it enables us to do the things like enable MFA and enable the lifestyle that we want. So they targeted this individual. What I find wild is the initial job posting PDF was the malware that infected the computer. What I don't understand, and I guess maybe it was just a buy time, is that the Lazarus Group actually put this individual through multiple rounds of interviews. My only thought is that they wanted to solicit more information about the environment that individual was working in. So maybe asking them specific questions around specific technologies to see if they had any experience. But when you're going for a job, I mean, think about what it feels like when you're being interviewed for a job. You're very much in a asynchronous kind of relationship where you're trying to deliver as much good and play along and be cool and be helpful as you can, and the people on the other side are trying to find things wrong with you, right? It's very asymmetrical. So this individual is probably helping out. I think it's clever. Again, why is it? I mean, I'm guilty of this too. And this is part of BYOD. This is part of allowing people to do stuff on their work computers. But guys, how about you don't download random crap off the internet onto your work computer and launch it? Now, granted, I would have thought the PDF would have been fine. But for 500, this organization lost $540 million and they repaid all the victims. Okay, so they have lots of money. I remember when this hack first happened. Think about that. If a company gets breached or compromised for $540 million, you would think that they would go out of business. But instead, they just paid everybody back and continued on their way. So they definitely got deep pockets, right? So with deep pockets, why don't you invest in an EDR solution that picks up on a PDF that's launching malware, right? Or a PDF that does process hollowing and launches something out of command.exe, right? Maybe they had it. Lazarus Group is sophisticated, so maybe they have some way around EDRs, right? Maybe they asked this dude what kind of EDR solution they currently run. I don't know, but Lazarus Group is legit. Add this to the list of their pelts, if you will. You want to talk about big game hunting? Lazarus Group is big game hunting 24/7. So, anyways, the crappy thing is you can't even educate your end users, because when people are looking for a job and applying to jobs and doing interviews at work, most times, not all the time, but most times they're doing it super secretly. They're doing it discreetly. They're going in the parking lot for the phone call interview. They're printing something to the printer, like their resume or the job posting, and then running like hell to the printer before Carl, picks it up and goes, "What is this?" Right? So like, you're already acting shady, right? Which is feeding right into the threat actors game, because they want you to be quiet about what they're doing. It's I don't want to call it brilliant, but it's interesting.
Chinese database exposed for a year. Yesterday, we covered the supposed leak of information on 1 billion Chinese citizens. This was tied back to Shanghai police setting up a dashboard on the public internet without a password. Someone listed this trove of data for sale online, but it hasn't been fully confirmed to be legitimate. Well, we at least now have confirmation that the data was exposed online for some time. The web intelligence firm Shadowbyte reports that it found the unsecured database from Shanghai police all the way back in January. They found that this was originally put back online in April 2021. Security researcher Bob Dianchenko said that in mid-June, he saw the data suddenly taken offline and replaced with a ransom note for police.
Oh my god. Like, this is so bad. Okay? Like, I'm almost like numb to this. This data breach, I don't know if you guys caught it. This data breach resulted because the individual basically just put the database on the internet. Like, it's not even a hack. It's not a security attack. It's not, I mean, it's a breach. But to call it a cybersecurity breach, I don't even know, because it literally, the person who accessed it and stole it, they were accessing it under the permissions that it was configured for. That is not a breach. I mean, this is getting semantics, right? But like, there was no security enabled. It was literally just like, if I throw my kid's bike on the sidewalk and someone steals it, guess what? There wasn't like some master criminal, Marquis de Sade or whatever, like, planning a heist. It, like, they literally just took it off the sidewalk, right? This is crappy police work. Someone's gonna get in deep trouble. It makes me wonder, like, whoever put it there, like, what were you thinking? Like, I don't think it was an IT person. I think it may have been Carl, but I will say I'm not surprised. It's surprising to me that it took a year, but it's not surprising to me that someone took the file off and then replaced it with a ransom note. Very crude. It's ransomware in the effect that you stole the file and replaced it with a note. it's not ransomware in the traditional effect of using encryption algorithms to encrypt malware, encrypt data and only have the decryption key, which is what you sell. This individual isn't selling a decryption key, they're selling the file itself, right? Police station probably has backups of it, you would think. So now maybe they're paying for preventing data exfiltration. But like this guy's face right here says it all. Like this guy right here is like, are you kidding me right now? Like seriously, seriously, Carl.
NPM hit with supply chain attack. Researchers at Reversing Labs discovered the attack, with threat actors using typo squatting to target developers looking for popular packages. This campaign began in December 2021, with the attackers using dozens of malicious modules. Simply using a very similar naming scheme, the malicious packages were designed to steal data from embedded forms. The researchers warned NPM of the modules on July 1st. While some were removed, the researchers say many are still available at the time of this writing. They estimate these packages were used by at least hundreds of downstream apps and websites based on downloads.
Okay, so I'm not calling anyone lazy. Accidents can happen. Real quick, this is for the more junior people in chat. This attack takes advantage of typo squatting. This is basically where you spell it differently, but it's kind of close, so you don't know. Like if you've ever written the word Microsoft and you put instead of an M for Microsoft, you put RN. It looks like an M, right? But it says Microsoft, right? If you were to say it out loud, but the computers don't know. And the way it renders on the screen, it looks like Microsoft. That's typo squatting. You could see here umbrellas with a J at the end, right? Ionic. I don't know if this is a legit module or if this is a typo squatted one, but just imagine like removing the A or having one L or making these two L's ones, right? There's a million different ways to do it. But that's what typo squatting is, just so you guys know. Now, what is actually happening here? So npm is a very, very popular module. It's actually it's been in the news quite recently because one of the main developers did something recently, like either stepped away or they like made it undownloadable for a period of time in like some type of act of protest. I can't remember the exact details, but it's been in the news recently. And again, it's pretty popular. So the threat actor here is the attack is that they are hoping that people will be using npm, which millions of apps use npm. Okay, so that's good. Secondly, they're hoping that developers are moving quickly and not paying attention to the actual spelling, right? So taking advantage of that typo squatting. There you go. Reggie T. Davis knows how to typo squat with Google right there. So so now you've taken advantage of the developer. The developer uses the malicious library, which they never would if they were actually taking the second to read it, and then they install it, and it takes advantage of basically key logging, or not key logging, but like reading content typed into forms and sending it back to the threat actor. Now, a couple things here. One, the threat actors can't control what type of apps this gets installed in. So it's very much a pray and spray a technique, right? I mean, obviously, you can target modules that are more likely to be used in financial systems or, document repositories or something like that. But you can't control who's installing it. So basically, the threat actors, launched a rocket out of their trunk and then go home and turn on the news and see where it landed. That's basically what's happening here. So pray and spray kind of a technique, typo squatting. I'm not sure. Like obviously they were hoping to get a hit, but they can't control it. It could have been like some college student's research project. It could have been an R&D system that's just fake Lipsum, Lorem Ipsum type data, right? So interesting. Typo squatting, it's been around forever and it's continuing to be used. So again, this isn't really a targeted attack as much as this is like pray and spray, or spray and pray. What's up, Jason Skates? Good to see you, man.
TikTok CEO tries to assuage U.S. lawmaker concerns. Last month, BuzzFeed News reported that, according to leaked audio from internal meetings at TikTok, the company began work on Project Texas, designed to stop engineers in China from retrieving U.S. data, indicating that Chinese engineers were already doing so. In a letter addressing questions from Republican senators on the report, TikTok CEO Josie Chu said the goal of Project Texas was to improve its systems and controls in order to build trust with users and key stakeholders, as well as make progress towards compliance with a final agreement with the U.S. government that will fully safeguard U.S. user data and resolve any national security concerns.
Okay, so this, TikTok thing owned by China, where's the data going? What's going on? Like this continues to be a thing. Um, they moved, this was in the news recently. They moved all of their US based data to an Oracle Cloud backend infrastructure. The app and experience didn't change for end users, but the location of the data was, in the United States. I hate to be cynical, but that's my nature, right? Having having worked in security long enough, I'm just cynical. Um, Obviously TikTok is getting all this data and doing something with it. So the US corpus of users is a huge value. So yes, that probably isn't going directly to Singapore, which is where it was going before, and then to China. But I have to believe that even though it's going to Oracle, that we're going to find out in the next, whatever, 3 months, 6 months, that the data is somehow getting back to China, or this is completely reasonable because of deep pockets. Why doesn't um whomever wants this data, right? So in the news it's said, China, kind of like generically China. What's stopping China from just coming to the United States and opening a building and like doing what they do here, right? I mean, they're not going to say like, oh, we're data collections and we're analyzing TikTok usage and doing, psychological evaluation. No, like we're selling widgets and baubles, but like it's just a front, right? It's, I don't want to call it completely circumventable, but like, like I just came up with that in like 8 seconds. And maybe someone in chat's like, you can't do that, Jerry. There'd be rules. But to me, it just seems like an easy way to get around, Project Texas or whatever. But um, anyways, just be mindful, guys. At the macro level, I'll tell you this. I know we all use services like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, social media, right, guys? We all use social media. Remember this: if you're not paying for social media, then you are the product, plain and simple. And that has to be a deal that you have to be comfortable with, but at least be mindful and make the decision yourself, right? Google isn't the number like 3 company in the world because they give you free Gmail and free Google apps and stuff like that. It's because they're harvesting your data and selling it. You're the product, plain and simple. Okay. And I use some of these services myself. I don't use Facebook, but you know what I mean? So just be mindful of that, right? TikTok is not gigantic because they're offering free videos to you, right? People, okay. That's the key takeaway there.
Interviewing for leadership positions in cybersecurity is difficult for everyone involved.
Oh yeah. So that's that's the thing for this week. Okay, guys, I want to take a few minutes and tease out a few things because I have been in at my in-laws for the last couple weeks. My Thursday live sessions, like this evening, have been kind of a couple little breaks and stuff because of travel, whatever. Today, I may do just this is more for like simply Cyber Squad members and people who are here normally. I may be doing a live stream later today. It will be a Renegade broadcast. It will be at 4:30 p.m. I think I might do. Let me know in chat if this is something you want. I was thinking about. I teased it last week. I might do why CISOs typically have an 18-month shelf life um, in a position and then they quit and move on. Like there's multiple reasons. It's not a simple answer. There's tons of reasons actually. And I've seen it. I know it. I can explain it to you. If that is something interesting, I know we're kind of at different levels of where people are in their career. Maybe talking about CISO lifespan isn't a hot topic. But if you're interested in that, I can just hit play and start talking and grab a beer because I have a lot of thoughts on that. So I'll go back and check chat. But we do have a very I don't want to call it formal, but this live stream next Thursday is incredible. Okay, guys. So I actually spent the better part of like 8 months working on getting this thing organized. It had many variations. I had different players involved. I think I spelt neuro incorrectly, but here's the deal. Some of you may remember, if you're OG members of Simply Cyber, some of you may remember these four individuals. Most of you know Joe Hudson, okay? I have assembled a 4-person um, panel of international cybersecurity recruiters. So Canada, UK, United States, and Australia, basically like 5 eyes, except 4 eyes, because I don't know New Zealand people. And we're talking about specifically, what is it like to hire neurodivergent candidates? Our business is looking for it, right? It's an invisible disability. You can't look at someone and be like, oh yeah, they're neurodivergent, right? Versus like someone who like is in a wheelchair, right? Very obvious that they are in a wheelchair. So what can businesses do to be better at diversity and inclusion if they truly are interested in diversity and inclusion, right? And what can candidates do to better enable themselves to be seen on the same level as candidates who are not neurodivergent? And by the way, in my research of this particular, like setting up this live stream, I've learned quite a bit. Neurodivergent candidates can actually spin their disability, for lack of a better term, as a benefit, right? As a capability that allows them to do certain things that non-neurodivergent candidates cannot do, right? We're going to have Nate O'Reilly, who I absolutely love. Nate O'Reilly. This guy is so cool and such a great champion of the cybersecurity community. NATO is a neurodivergent individual. He is very open about it. He's very successful. He has agreed to come on and kind of represent neurodivergent individuals in general. So we're going to be talking to Joe, Ricky, Paul, and Daryl about what hiring looks like and what you can do. Like, there's so many things. Like, just to give you a taste, it's like how you interview a neurodivergent candidate in order to be more inclusive of them matters, right? Like how the lighting is, or like how you give them questions and stuff like that. And it's not pandering to somebody, but like, oh my God, like, why do you get a special interview process? It's like, dude, like, let's work with this individual and figure out if they're a good fit for the role we need. Not do they conform to some, mindset of what an employee looks like to you, right? So why don't we take your position and put it over here and actually just interview the candidate for their efficacy of the role? Okay. So NATO's going to tell us what's up. We're going to be looking at it from both the employer perspective, candidate perspective, and the employer perspective, like the business, and the employee perspective. I imagine most of you are interested in the employee perspective, but I think it's valuable for employers and people who are looking to hire to understand how to engage these individuals. And we'll also enumerate what neurodivergent is. Is it ADHD? Is it autism? Is it Asperger's? What is it? And then go from there, right? Okay, cool. So definitely join us next week for that and share it with your socials, because I think it's going to be wicked fun. Okay, whoops, this isn't the right thing. Let's do the raffle now for the PEH. Whoops. Practical Ethical Hacking TCM Academy voucher. I'm going to go ahead. If you entered TCM, you are going to be entered. So let's go ahead and pick our 2 winners right now. Good luck to everybody. Our first winner, my man, Shane Prevost. Shane Prevost with the W. Shane, make sure you tell your kids that you're going to get trained up by the cyber mentor himself. Congratulations, Shane. That's fantastic. All right, our next winner coming in hot. Rachel. Okay, so this is just, your username is just Rachel. So I don't know. Rachel, reach out to me on Discord. Hopefully, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who Rachel is, but Shane, you know how to get me on Discord. Rachel, !Discord. Basically, all the winners for this week, I'm getting your email addresses, bundling them up, and on Friday evening, I'm going to send them over to TCM Academy, and they will take it from there. It's not like a coupon code like I normally send to the winners. It's something on their system. Again, really proud that Simply Cyber is officially affiliated with TCM Academy. So I will be doing a little bit more content associated with TCM Academy and providing links. You can find a link in the show description of this video and all of my videos going forward, pointing to TCM Academy. Okay. Let me think here. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah, guys, just make sure if you are just catching this really quickly. Oh, I closed the window. That sucks. Go to, if you're on Team Replay and you like skipped ahead for whatever reason, reminder, you can enter the raffle. The way the raffle is going to happen tomorrow is on the Discord server under the giveaway channel. And you just have to hit the emote on the Discord channel in order to enter, right? I'm looking right now. I see 39 people have entered. I can't really share my screen without causing a hot mess on fire, so nobody's interested in that. But here, let me do this really quickly just so I can. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, cool. Just a reminder, guys, the way that you enter the contest, and I know I'm belaboring this for some people, go to the Discord server, go to the giveaway channel, which is right there at the top, and then click the little emote, see where it says one, this thing right here? Click it, an emote, and that's how you enter the tournament or the raffle. And tomorrow at 8:23, winners will be automatically selected. So that's pretty awesome. I'm super pumped about it. Congratulations to everybody, and thank you to TCM Academy. Whew. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for today's episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. I hope you all got value out of this. If you did, hit the like button. That always helps, or thumbs up, or whatever it is, on whatever platform you're on. But more importantly, I would genuinely appreciate it if you simply shared with your social network the Simply Cyber. Hold on, I got to go full screen here. Share so I can point to it. Share the simplycyber.io/streams URL. Just let people know. It's not about spamming people. It's about letting people know that might get value out of this stream. They're made aware of it. You know, a lot of people I see are like, holy crap, I just found this today. This is awesome. And it's like, well, thank you. It's really cool. We're on episode 148. I wish you'd found us sooner. So that's what's up with that. Woo. Okay, guys. I'm going to leave it right there. Y'all have a great Thursday. Keep your eyes open. Hit the bell for notifications. I don't normally say that, but if I go live at 4:30 today to do that why CISOs only last 18 months briefing, you'll get notified and you'll be like, oh, cool, Jerry's here. Let's rock and roll. Guys, be good. Thanks, Jim Lund. Thanks, Stella. Jim Lund, I've got to reach out to you and we got to talk. Ron Clark's episode. Good to see you, everybody. It's Thursday, July 7th, episode 148. You guys are awesome. Have a great day.